Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Prop Wiz. I'm your host, the Wiz. Today, I thought since we're coming up on the end of the year that it'd be cool to do a top 5 list of my top 5 Hot Toys figures. Look, I'm gonna tell you right from the jump, it's gonna be extremely difficult narrowing it down to just 5. Even now, as I'm recording, I got like 12 figures in my mind as my favorites, but I'm gonna try to stick to 5. I do wanna point out, I got quite a few 1/6 scale figures still in boxes. Once I open those might easily replace some of the figures I have on this list. So don't be surprised if I release another top 5 video in the near future and the list might be a little bit different. Anyways, let's jump right in with my list. My list does have an order, and we're gonna start with number 5. Number 5 on my list is the Mandalorian figure from Hot Toys. I got 2 Mando figures, including the one from the first season where he had the brown armor, and this one that's on my list is the one with the silver armor, the one that's all Beskar. Well, all the armor is Beskar, but this one unpainted silver chrome look that we've come to know as the Mandalorian's armor. Dude, just absolutely love this figure. I will say this, man, a lot of these figures on my list is probably based off the material it came off of first. So of course I love the Mandalorian show, but this figure looked like it came right out of that episode. If you pose this thing right, you wouldn't even know whether it was the real thing or not. Very, very highly detailed figure. It came with the Grogu figure. It's crazy because I'm probably gonna have more Grogus than anything. One of my unopened figures is the Luke Skywalker from Mandalorian that also comes with a Grogu. And of course, the original figure came with a Grogu. And I got a life-size Grogu upstairs, man. So my household is like baby Yoda up. You get it. Anyways, number 4 on my list is Batman from the Snyderverse. That's the Ben Affleck Batman. Dude, I just really like this figure. I really feel like we didn't get to see as much Batman as I wanted to see in the Snyderverse, but I definitely like the look, man. If nothing else, man, the look of Ben Affleck in that Batman costume was just iconic. It looks exactly like some of the comic books. Of course, specifically the Dark Knight Returns, man. It was just real awesome to see something that you grew up, the symbolism, the logo on his chest, the color schemes, even the imperfections in the costume. Seeing it on the big screen was cool, and of course, this figure reflects all of that. There's something also about this figure where the photography in me love it, man, because it's real easy to photograph, man, which again just goes to the design of the original costume. But man, you hit the light just right on this thing. The shadows are real cool. The bodysuit, the texture in the bodysuit, the boots, everything, man. Super dope figure. Number 3 on my list, again, based off one of my favorite shows. In fact, I think this is Marvel's best TV show to date, and that's the Daredevil figure. Again, Hot Toys did their thing with this, man. The head sculpt is spot on. This is one of those figures, man, and don't get me wrong, Hot Toys does awesome work. Every now and then you'll get a figure that just don't quite look as realistic as other ones that'll still look good, still up to their quality. So I don't know if it's just the real face, or I don't know what it is, but some figures don't come out as realistic. I think the Rey figure is an example that pops in my mind. When I see Rey from Star Wars, that figure looks like her, but it just looks real toyetic, plasticky. Look, it sounds like I'm getting off subject, right? The head sculpt on this Daredevil is spot on, looks very, very realistic. Looked like it came right out of the TV show. On top of that, the costume is dope. It came with this little city background that just looks beautiful on the shelf, man. Just add dimension to the display. And of course, the accessories fall in line. Like, you get everything that was shown in the movie, because he didn't have a lot, right? Everything that was in the movie, from his little nunchucks, his little battling pole, grappling, whatever the weapon's called. I don't even know what they're called. It's all there. Super dope. Daredevil. My only regret with this bad boy, well, not with this specifically, but I regret the fact that I never got the Punisher figure. But anyways, my number 2 on the list would be my RoboCop figure. Now, this one is real dope, man. This is actually, even when I was collecting figures, this was a figure that I didn't even know exists until I saw it at a Comic-Con sitting on the shelf. While I was at the Comic-Con, I think they had a price for about $400, like $390 or something like that. I went ahead and looked it up, Googled it to see if I could find this thing, because I hadn't heard of it. So I looked it up to see if I could find it. Couldn't find it anywhere online that was cheap, man. They were already selling them. It was astronomical, basically already sold out. So just the fact that I saw this thing sitting on the shelf at a Comic-Con, one of my favorite places to be, it felt like it was a sign. I waited till the last day of Comic-Con that Sunday, went back up, and they had took $100 off. So I was able to get this bad boy for very, very cheap. And that one in itself is a miracle, because this thing is almost completely die cast. And if you don't know, die cast 1/6 scale figures equals some dough. But anyways, man, this is a beautiful figure. Again, looks like RoboCop, looks like Peter Weller. Not only the die cast factor that it has some weight to it, gives us some coolness, but also just how the metal, reacts to the light when it's lit, and the DTOF or wherever you got it sitting, man. it just looks awesome. It looks realistic, which is one of the key things with a lot of these figures that made my list, man. Just the realism of it. Like actually having something from my childhood or one of my favorite movies sitting on the shelf. Dope. Which leads us to our number 1 Hot Toys figure on this list, and that's Batman from the 1989 Batman movie. Yes, I got 2 Batmans on my list. The producer of me that's doing this show told me that that's not a good idea. This is an opportunity to put something else on there. Don't do 2 Batmans, but I wanted my first top 5 list to be honest, and the honest truth is I got 2 Batman figures on my favorite list. Anyways, this one for me is a no-brainer. Almost all of my top 5 or top 10 lists, like I think I got a top 10 superhero list. The 1989 Batman is number 1 on my movie list, so it kind of makes sense that it'd be number 1 on my action figure list as well, being that I got one. On top of the nostalgia factor of the movie itself and my love of the Batman movie, and the figure being absolutely accurate, but this is also one of my first figures. I think this might have been the second or third figure in my collection. And the only reason it's the third figure in my collection is because of timing. It was my number 1. That's the figure that actually got me into collecting, but it was either on pre-order or hadn't been released yet. And I ended up buying the Captain America and I believe the Superman from the 1977 Superman movie, which are both dope figures as well. So I'm glad that collectively those are my first figures. But Batman 89, Michael Keaton, man, this is the one. And this is the figure that'll probably remain number 1 for years to come, except for one little thing with this specific figure. I did pre-order the 1989 Batman that Hot Toys is about to release, I guess re-releasing the same figure. It does look like there's some differences. I have to see it in person to see how different it is. I went ahead and pre-ordered that bad boy, even though I had this figure, because even if it ends up being the same, man, these figures do crack with the leather. The cape is leather-like. I heard that some people have it where it starts flaking and things like that. Also, the bodysuit is made out of this rubber. Basically, there's some things that just aren't designed to last forever. I do believe, I might be wrong, but I do believe some of the re-releases, they address some of those issues. I've seen some other figures where it seemed like they got better technology, better way of making these things, and they apply that. But at the same time, I can't see me getting rid of my original figure. I'll probably keep both and just display them differently, because this figure came with a lot of accessories. It came with a few different face masks. You got the battle damage face mask, all this stuff that's never hit my shelf. So if I get another one, it'd be cool to display 2 of them. But this figure is absolutely beautiful, man. Looks like Michael Keaton. Glad to have it as part of my collection. But anyways, that's my list. And I'm sticking with it for now. Now, I did stick with just Hot Toys figures for this list. If I had added other brands or third-party designs, man, it would have shook this list all up, man. I do got some cool figures in here that are amongst my favorites. But hey, maybe I narrowed it down to Hot Toys to give me an opportunity to do other lists of my collectibles, man. There's some more top 5 lists coming, hopefully before the end of the year. But anyways, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about my top 5 list. Are there any of these figures on my list that made it on your top 5? Let me know in the comment section. In fact, leave me your list of top 5, man. Just leave me a comment listing your top 5. I would love to see what other people think, what other people got. Hey, and if you like this video, please do me a favor. Hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. That subscription puts you amongst the first to know when I drop a new video. And look, as always, I love you guys to death, and I'll check you out next time, all right?
Yo, you hating? Welcome to this war in the making. Your Lucky Charms, I'm Leprechaun, played by Warwick Davis. You more like Warwick Davis, Ewok, you're far away places. Off the fair one, I draw the gun after 4 paces. Warren Beatty, Bonnie and Clyde, out of my mind crazy. That's why you dying inside, or a cyanide maybe. Tell the kid to open his eyes. He was born a blind baby, I'm dope when the pressure's applied. That's why your wife thanks me every time I come through. You Adam 22 when I f your wife in front of you, just before divorcing you. That's right, destroying your life, that's what I'm born to do. Brought a knife to a missile fight, a glorious fueled by hate and oxygen, son. I'm Kal-El, using powers that I got from the sun. It's farewell when the humans try to block out the sun. Inhale the air in hell just for fun. There can only be just one. Yes, there's just one. There's just one, and yes, I'm the best one. How many better than me? I expect none. I'm excellent, excelling this stunt for a hell of a run. Yes, there's just one. There's just one, and yes, I'm the best one. How many better than me? I expect none. I'm excellent, excelling this stunt for a hell of a run. Yes, there's just one. There's just one, and yes, I'm the best one. How many better than me? I expect none. I'm excellent.